Welcome back to Space Cowboy for some Starfield news. It has been a while. We haven't seen much on the Starfield front in the last few weeks, which is a massive shame. I was hoping that because of the Fallout TV show, we'd see some capitalization on the Starfield name, saying, hey, this isn't all we do another game as well. It's not just Fallout. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving all of the Fallout love. There has been so much of it over the past few weeks. But yesterday we got an interview from Kinda Funny Games with Todd Howard himself, the man himself, and he revealed some really cool things about the future of Starfield. A lot of it is relatively vague, but there's also some pretty decent things in there, including the news of an update that is coming this week. Obviously we are currently on Tuesday, so there's a few days left. Hopefully we see something pretty substantial with some decent content behind it. But if you're a fan of Starfield and Bethesda titles, subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan of survival games, check out our main channel, Wired Gaming. That is in the top right hand corner. We cover survival games there. All the links are in the description down below. Now, as I said, Todd Howard did an interview with Greg on the Kinda Funny Games podcast and revealed some really juicy things for the future of Starfield. Mainly, an update is coming this week with some decent stuff in it, including ship customization and a new possibility of ways to travel. A lot of it is relatively vague, so we have no definitive news. But when it comes to Fallout, there has been loads of cool stuff around that, and that is primarily what the interview was about Todd Howard's involvement with the Fallout TV show, how things were put together, and what input he had on it. As well as that, there has been over 65 million people that have watched the Fallout show from start to finish, which is great. Loads and loads of stuff. Unfortunately, there was no news on if there's going to be any bringing forward of Fallout content or anything new coming to the Fallout franchise yet. So we're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully we do see something within the next couple of years. As well as that, he spoke about the stats for Fallout 76 and a few other bits and bobs as well. But mainly we're going to be talking about Starfield and the things he had to say about that. He did say he has some very exciting things that he wants to share with the community. And hopefully we see at least a dev letter or something within the next few days coinciding with that update. Now, something I found really interesting was they spoke about the jankiness of Bethesda titles. Check this bit out here.
This is a Bethesda game. And I didn't mean it derogatory, right? But I was talking about the systems and the way they work and da-da-da. And obviously, so many people, and I'll throw it around too, both jovial and serious to an issue, of Bethesda Jank kind of thing and all that. Like, how do you view what a Bethesda game is?
I think when you look at open world games or games like that, you're going to get a certain level of, use your phrase, a certain level of jank, or a certain level of, well, that tested an edge, or it's doing something that, we hadn't intended. I do, data-wise, and I believe Starfield, is the most solid release we've had, given its complexity, at that moment.
Now, as mentioned, Starfield was the best performing release for Bethesda overall in terms of player numbers, stability, on all of that stuff. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that they had major issues with Starfield, and not liking the game, but performance issues and stuff like that. So that's understandable. For me, myself, I didn't have any issues. Yes, there was loads of bugs, nothing game breaking though. There was just little minor things here and there. I myself didn't experience any, which I thought was really good. I think I've crashed twice the whole time I've been playing Starfield, and I've got a few hundred hours in it, which is great. And as Todd mentions, the ability to give the players that freedom does come with the cost of it being such a big game, and it will come with some issues, which, yeah, understandable. I do think, obviously, Fallout 76, there was major issues at the start of that there, but Starfield, Fallout 4, I did play Fallout 4 on consoles, didn't have too many issues with that. Have played it on PC recently, and I've had more issues on PC than what I did on the consoles. Now, when it comes to this update, they did mention some news coming out this week, and hopefully a beta branch coming on Steam to coincide with that.
And an update that we have coming, I think it's going to get announced in a few days, actually, this week, and be up on Steam beta. It's got some great stuff for shipbuilding in it as well. We redid the map stuff, so we have some city map stuff. You even had to ping me a dice on that, I think, but it's fine. We're here for you.
I do hope we see something big and substantial. There were hints at much more ship customization. So could that factor into being able to fully paint the ships like completely down to little details? and to be able to mess around more with the interior of the ships. So moving furniture around, moving bits inside cockpits around, more like we have with the actual base building aspects of the game. I think that would be really, really cool, and the amount of freedom that would bring is insane. Yes, there are mods and things that do things like that, but a lot of players don't have access to mods. But when it comes to Starfield mods on console, that is something that the team is working at, similar with Fallout 4. Alongside that, he has mentioned this here.
You know, the maps or some other things, gameplay options that we're adding, other display modes on console that people have asked for. And we want to do all that stuff. Take some time, but we're excited to get stuff out there.
Well,
so the ability to tweak the settings. So could we see a sort of hardcore mode, or maybe sliders that enable us to change it and fine-tune that gameplay down to our specific play style? Either way, I'm happy with that. So as mentioned, we could see some pretty finicky things. I do love the ship customization, and I also love the mod that allowed you to create an actual space station. I do hope that comes in with the Shattered Space DLC. When we'll see that, we'll go into that in just a second. Having city maps, yes, is something that should have been there on launch, but I'm glad that it is something they're working on and will be coming to the game pretty damn soon. Now, another thing they touched up on is the Starfield Creation Kit.
An update on the new Creation Kit. This has been popping off in the chat a lot, too.
This for Starfield?
Yeah.
Yes. We've delivered it to some people, some of our creators for Starfield. You're going to hear some information about that soon. So don't have a date to announce on when its full release is coming, but really, really important to us. Look, our modders out there have been incredible.
It is now out in the hands of select creators and mod makers, which is great news. There's no public release date yet, but hopefully when they've finished fine-tuning and everybody's got everything that they need and things are working smoothly, that'll go out into the public, but we still have no official release date yet. And now finally, the big news, and that is Shattered Space. He did accidentally I don't know if it was a slip-up, but he did mention it will be coming in fall.
Is that for the big update, Shattered Space, or is this just an update?
This is a separate update.
Okay.
Shattered Space is in the fall.
So whether that was a slip-up or not, because they did say that we'd see that towards the start of 2024, and we haven't seen it at all yet. So big shame there. I would have loved to have seen that much sooner. But hopefully, as I mentioned before, it could have been a complete cock-up. They saw the reception of the actual Starfield game itself and thought, right, we need to switch up how we handle the DLC. Who knows? There's no news on it yet, but I do think here, with this bit of the interview...
Shattered Space is coming along nicely?
It is. We're going to have some stuff to show. I can't say...
What do you think, it's summertime,
No.
maybe? Right around SGF? What are you doing? June? Something there? Got a showcase going on with Xbox? What's happening? Monday? Sunday? Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Have it your way.
Greg continues to talk. I think if he did stay quiet and Todd would have rambled on a little bit more, sounded like he was about to reel off a few things about Shattered Space, but then he just went quiet. Whether he's not allowed to say anything just yet, or they're not ready to release it publicly, or whether it was because he just let Greg talk and then the conversation continued to flow in other directions. I do want more Shattered Space news. Hopefully we find out something within the next few weeks, or something that coincides with this update, or news on it at least. We'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for the future of Starfield? Are you excited for Shattered Space and the next update, which will hopefully be coming very soon? Let me know down in the comments below. As mentioned before, Steam's backend has already been updated several times since the last update, so we could be seeing something big, or at least a big enough update. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. For now though, that's it from me. I've been Cowboy, you've been awesome, thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon with some more Starfield.